Well, that worked out perfectly because we had a bit of a pause, please, at the start of this, but here we are back in the IEM Sao Paulo qualifiers. I am Rifkin, joined today by my Insanity's Penguin. We're in a brand new best of 3, of course, a TVT between these two fantastic players, and spawning here in the lower right corner of the map, playing for the Team Empire. It is the Red Terran, Happy.
And his opponent, spawning in the top left corner, just taking out Stefano, sporting his team color blue. It's going to be none other than my Insanity's Jjakji. And I want to point out something before we go into this game. Like, usually you'll look at this matchup and you're going to be saying, okay, Jjakji's the obvious favorite going in this. Happy's a foreigner, Jjakji's a top Korean. Last time they played was Home Story Cup, and Happy won. So do not underestimate Happy in this series, guys.
Dude, Happy takes out people left and right that he shouldn't. I mean, he takes on Innovation like it's nothing. Daishi, no problem. 4GG, not an issue. Happy's a really solid player. I do want to actually, I forgot to do this while we do intros. I meant to do this for the last series, but guys, if you want to follow either of these players on Twitter, Happy, who rarely uses his Twitter apparently, has one. It is at Empire Happy, and of course, his opponent is at MYI Jjakji. So I do recommend, no matter who wins this, you follow both of these guys, or at the very least, your favorite player. Oh, actually, big shout out to Happy, who actually retweeted about this. Awesome, cool.
Okay. Well, he is using his Twitter for something occasionally.
Ever since Home Story Cup, man, they like bullied him into using Twitter.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, he's got some very, very strong TVT on him. Actually, he's sitting around 63% win rate in all of his matchups, Happy. So, TVT, definitely something that he's shown he can do very well in. He did beat Jjakji, as I said, at Home Story Cup. TVT is statistically Jjakji's worst, though. So, definitely a chance for Happy going into this. So far, I wouldn't be too surprised to see a second Rax come down from Jjakji. No, he's actually gone gas first, so he's going to be going factory. This is the kind of map where I could definitely see Jjakji going 2 Rax Reaper, actually.
Well, I was going to ask you real quick, actually. Do you know, does Jjakji, I mean, everyone pretty much opens one way. If it's not the Raven for the defense and the Viking, it's usually the Banshee for the offense. Do you know if Jjakji comfortably plays mech or not? Because I know Happy can do both quite effectively.
I've seen Jjakji do it. I think he prefers bio, though.
Yeah, mech has been quite strong lately in this matchup. I'm not sure if that trend will follow here today or not, though. Happy, again, I don't know. It's weird to consider Happy not being the underdog versus a Korean, but hey.
I would still call him the underdog, to be fair. Jjakji's shown some pretty good TVT despite it being his worst matchup lately. He did 3-0 Luciferon in at Aces Rog, that's the one. And he did recently 2-0 Morrow in the ESL Euro Series Team League. So he's definitely capable of winning TVT. But I would put this maybe at 50-50 either way.
Well, I was going to say, like, as nice as that is, that I would never complain about beating either of those two players, I really do feel Happy is like a whole league above Luciferon and Morrow at the moment. Nothing against those two guys, but they just haven't had the best results to date.
Happy is, in my opinion, clearly the #1 foreign Terran at the moment. And Jjakji was saying that actually a lot of Koreans consider him on par with most average Korean Terran players, which is definitely saying something. So...
From
yeah,
way up high on that pedestal, did he say that?
No, I actually heard him talking to Teja about that. Like, he and Teja were mentioning that.
Well, now that's a whole different story. That's quite impressive. Teja, of course, the baddest ass of the year as far as Terran goes. But, okay, Jjakji is going to go for that cloak first. Happy, he's going for the engineering base, so he may still go forward with his own Banshee, but at the very least he'll have defense against that of Jjakji's.
Yeah, so we do actually have we already have an engineering bay up for Happy as well, so we could even go missile turret, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to add on a missile turret. Yeah, so that way he's going to be able to go into... Oh, he is actually still going to go Raven. I was going to say you could skip the Raven, but...
I like this, though. It's not bad. I mean, saving yourself scans, getting that energy, whether it's a point defense drone, seeker missiles, I mean, Ravens are never bad. They're just, unfortunately, very expensive and quite fragile. I don't know why. I thought they were armored units for the longest time. I recently learned through Thor experience that they're light units and you shouldn't clump them versus Thors ever. Just personal bad experience.
Oh, what league are you in, actually, by the way? Because I know you were Masters at the end of...
Yeah, I haven't played on for like 3 seasons, I think. I was playing on ladder for stream a little bit. I think I hit platinum off of bronze, so I haven't played that much, but that's where I'm currently at.
We'll see where it ends.
I don't think I'm gonna hit Masters anytime soon. There's too much casting and not enough chance for practice. But okay,
I know the feel, man.
Yeah, Marie's gonna get picked off here. A couple do go down for free. This Banshee with some good control to Jjakji. All right, missile turret or auto turret goes down.
Oh,
We'll get
nice.
the bitch.
That was really nice.
That was so just barely cute. That was like the edge of the range for that auto turret.
That was cute. That was almost as cute as... Were you watching Asus ROG San versus Innovation?
Man, I saw 2 matches of Asus ROG, period. The stream wouldn't load for me day 2 either. I caught the last game, though. I was so glad I caught that last game of Jadong versus Scarlet. But I missed the first, like, 3, so I have no idea what led into that.
Yeah, but basically Innovation did this really cute thing where there was an Oracle, and he boosted a medevac past it and just continuously dropped Marines, and they killed the Oracle.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, that's on par with. I think this like auto turret drops almost on par with that as far as coolness. Cuteness.
Yeah, you really don't see auto turrets used too much. I mean, they're mostly used for their high aggro settings or whatever. But that was really nice. Now it looks like Happy's not quite made that definitive tech choice yet. We don't see too many upgrades being invested one way or another. But with that command center coming out, he's gonna be able to make a choice soon, as well have the economy to back it up. Same with kind of Jjakji right now. Leaning towards just getting a lot of Marines out. I mean, that's kind of the nice thing about Marines. They don't need upgrades to be effective defense-wise. You know, your opponent's not going to charge into you if you've got like 80 Marines sitting at your choke.
That's very, very true. But we actually do see both players actually getting kind of the same orbital timing, and we do see more Raxes being added on by Happy. So we do know that he's not going to be playing mech, which is kind of the bigger question in my mind. Although Jjakji could still play mech. He hasn't added on anything else.
Happy sees this push coming too. I love that he pulls the Marine back. Every Marine counts. It's weird to consider, but it really does. Tank positioning is also going to be quite key. Jjakji, however, actually they got pretty much the dead-on same composition. The Viking count's going to be a little bit awkward. The difference is this Raven has energy for a point defense drone. It can launch out Seeker missiles, whereas Happy's a little more limited. Pumping out that auto turret early, I mean, he's going to be able to cast basically 1 spell out of this. I think point defense drone might be his best bet, to be honest.
It could be, but Marines don't count as projectiles, nor do tanks. It would just help him win the Viking War.
Exactly, yeah. Because
Well,
I mean, like once you, well, the problem with the Seeker missile is it doesn't do enough damage to kill anything. You're not 1, you need 2.
Yeah, it's true. Well, Jjakji trying to get a good position up here on the natural. Good point defense round going down
for both players
actually.
This is going to get awkward. Jjakji actually forced to retreat back a little bit quicker. Or, sorry, Happy forced to retreat back a little bit quicker, but he'll lose the Viking fight because of that Raven snipe. And this will actually positionally hurt him, because now you won't have the air vision, the superiority to engage on these tanks. Forced to take a terrible engagement, sieging up here into the siege tanks of Jjakji. Happy may have just lost this game.
He is dropping in supply rapidly. Jjakji starting a 3rd CC behind this.
Oh, kills the tank. Oh. No tanks remaining. No way to engage into this. If Jjakji moves forward with the tanks, he can actually get in range of this tech lab and maybe pick it off with the combat shields. Although that's a really sort of gutsy move. Just goes for the barracks instead.
Missile turret does get the Viking, so high ground vision of... Well, it's halved, because he only has 1 Viking now at least. But Jjakji's up 30 supply here. Happy is in a lot of trouble. His own stim and combat shields are very, very far ahead, but that's not really going to help if he can't actually get into an engaged position. Landing the Viking to take out the tank.
He can't get a break with his tank, man.
Well,
but okay.
Jjakji's just going to pull home now. I like this decision. He's already established himself in a nice lead. He's got a 5-worker lead. He's got a big army lead as well. He's up almost 20 supply in army supply, actually. And, well, his own upgrades are later, so that's the advantage that Happy's sort of resting on. He has +1, while Jjakji's only just now started +1. But his problem is that Jjakji's got double NG base, so he'll catch up, and 1-1 will be finished at around the exact same time. 3rd CC coming in for Happy as well, so he's definitely doesn't want to fall too far behind in that department either.
It's rough, though. I mean, you lose those tanks early on, and if you're not playing mech, you just don't have the capability to reproduce them. I mean, he's got the +1 upgrades over Jjakji temporarily on the Marines. But what can Marines do? They're not Marauders. You can't stim into 4 tanks that Jjakji currently has to take them out. Alright, reclaims the watchtowers. I mean, every little fight counts, but again, the scary thing for Happy is he's never really going to catch up on tanks anytime soon. If Jjakji sits back long enough and lets Happy catch up, though, that's a different story.
Yeah? Well, this is a kind of interesting situation that we find ourselves in, because, as I was saying before, Happy has a little bit of an upgrade lead, which he is going to look to actually maintain, as he's getting an armory and a 2nd NG bay as well, so he should still be slightly ahead in upgrade timing himself. Jjakji also getting the armory, so he wants to start +2/+2 at the same time as his +1/+1 does end up finishing. So he's not going to be too far behind here, but Happy definitely does have a way to get back into this game, because Jjakji, he may have a bigger army, but positioning in this matchup, so key.
And that's what I was talking about. Like if he lets
exactly.
Happy get a couple tanks up, it only takes about 5 at most to zone out most army pushes. So I really like too, by the way, where Happy is positioning these Vikings. They're out of sort of vision. There's not going to be scans to go down to see they started to produce them again, and they'll catch medevacs if they come through this part of the map. So quite nice actually in that regard.
Yeah, and well, we actually do see these 4 medevacs moving out here for Happy. How much damage can these get done? There's a turret coming. No, that's actually a sensor tower, so there's no turrets there, but the problem is Jjakji's going to have vision of this with that tower as soon as it does get in vision.
Well, you can actually...
Jjakji's a little bit... Oh, he's moving out with his army.
You can actually skirt around the tower, Penguin. The sensor tower will pick it up, though. The sensor tower will pick it up.
Yeah.
Happy, though... Yeah, I don't know. This is a real big gambit. Jjakji, of course, hasn't confirmed this is coming, is now going for his own drop, but of course that'll be picked off by those Vikings. Moving back defensively, I think he was expecting to sit between the natural and the third, not looking to go towards the main just yet, but now the sensor tower is going to go up. Now the red bleeps will come down, and he knows something's coming, and it can only be medevacs. If Happy can siege up, maybe he can keep Jjakji back a little bit. I mean, again, it only takes a couple good tanks. He's got the no upgrade advantage right now. It is 1-1 for both players, but Marines are going to take a nice fire. Tanks not wanting to engage into this. This is actually going quite well for Happy. Stims on top of the tanks. Oh, no, none of them die, though. Low ground tanks still will clean this up. So picks on up, minimizes his losses, has to get out of there with the medevacs.
Overall, I like that trade.
Not a bad trade.
He got a good trade.
He got all the Marines wiped out. That was the big thing. That's the cannon fodder. The tanks didn't go down, though. That's Jjakji is so good at keeping these tanks alive, I must say. But
here comes the drop for Jjakji. He's going to be able to do some good damage on his own, and this time it's going to be economic damage. This is going to sting. Happy losing quite a few of his SCVs, already losing 7 of them, and now we actually see Jjakji
drops on top of the tank.
Is he going to get the tank? I don't
think
he might get the tank, actually.
Happy in a worst case scenario can always pull back those Vikings, land them with maybe a secret missile auto turret or two, but not utilizing them, just going to try and use those reinforcements. Meanwhile, unloads everything here on the other half of the map. Still looking to push into the third, I guess, hoping that Jjakji's abandoned the main. But there's missile turrets now. There's siege tanks waiting for him. No matter where Happy goes here, he's going to have to back up. Although, actually, if he goes the long way... If he goes the long way, there's no defense here in the northern part of the base. But, of course, he doesn't know that. Sees the missile turrets with that scan and backs up.
Jjakji did some great damage to the zone drop as well, putting himself back in the lead here. He's currently up by about 10 workers. He's sitting at a 9-worker lead right now. He has cut worker production, though, so Happy can close that gap. Do we have 4th CC down for...
But Penguin, let's not forget, this is TVT, and it's a 10 tank to 3 lead. You can be ahead of workers all you want, but really it's these tanks that are so scary. Now, the rule from before doesn't change. You can't really positionally engage into already sieged tanks. Even if Happy only has 3, you never really want to move 10 tanks unsieged into that. But, oh, Happy, is he going to get caught? I think... He's just barely going to get around that. Just barely going to get around that. But now he knows that Jjakji's on the move. Can he really afford a base trade? Can he win a base trade even is the big question.
I think a base trade is his best chance, to be honest.
Oh, look at these auto turrets. Those are going to actually soak a lot of damage, as weird as that is to consider. But they're on the wrong side. Oh, no. All right, well, he's going to go for the base trade. There are turrets up, but if he boosts past them, there's only 2. This is actually not that big of a problem.
Not at all, and I guess Jjakji's gonna have to do something. Happy hesitating a little bit, almost losing.
Loses the medevac, 90% full. Siege tank sieging up at a very odd spot. Goes for the SCVs instead of his opponent's siege tanks. That's gonna cost him, but he cleans it up with the Marines. 2 siege tanks still stand, but he friendly fires 1 down. Not a lot of Marines left, however. On the other side of the map, though, Jjakji is pushing forward. The siege tanks are positioned quite well, but there's not enough Marines. There's no cannon fodder for this, Penguin.
Well, Jjakji has a lot of tanks, but as you said, they're not that great on their own. There's no cannon fodder. 4 of them remain sieged. He's going to try to leapfrog them forward and try to get a good position off on this third base. He has to do some damage. There's a lot of Marines at home, though. Jjakji is going to go to try to clean this up, and it looks like he should be able to clean up the drop in his base.
Yeah, medevac's going to boost on out of there. Was that worth it, though? I mean, economically damaged, lost, resources lost, yes, but Jjakji has still got so much on the other half of the map. Happy going to try and drop on top of these tanks, and again, no Marine support, no tank, no fodder. There's only about 5 Marines to clean this up. Almost loses that other tank, 5 health remaining. Oh god, 1 health on that 1 tank. This is not looking good for Happy.
No, not at all. He's forced to lift. He's going to lose all of these SCVs by the looks of it, and they're just sort of forced to chill there, and this CC won't go down by the looks of it, but
But
Jjakji
the
setting
SCVs
himself
will.
up in an amazing position. He didn't actually lose that CC that was lifted from the natural. He only lifted it, so he's mining from that base once again, and sitting now at a worker deficit, but it doesn't really matter since the main's mined out for Happy. The natural's still got a lot of minerals, but he's only mining off of one base.
Oh, here comes the final push. Not even going to take the fight. GG. And that was only game number 1. It's a best of 3, guys. We got more in store.
Great start to the series. Wow.
It really was quite nice. Jjakji, of course, taking a very decisive victory towards the end. I think a lot of that was really decided early on, though. I got to give it to Happy, sticking it out, trying to do what he can. But, yeah, we're going to squeeze in a quick 30-second ad, guys, while we get the next game up, so don't go anywhere. 11 frames dropped throughout the entire broadcast, so if you guys are getting lag, it's not on my end, I'm sorry to say.